Joining me today is women's tennis junior captain, Abby Edelmann. Thank you for taking the time to talk about the team, Abby. Um,
Yeah,
I know we talked a little bit about just before we were starting to record here, just about how you have some new faces on the team this year. You are one of the more veteran people on the team. Certainly, actually, right now with your co-captain Ellie McKenna studying abroad this semester, you are the veteran on the team. But can you talk about just your impression so far of some of the women that have joined the team?
yeah. So we picked up three new players, and I think a fourth will be joining us. Two, or three of them are already dual athletes, so they're on other sports. So they're joining us for probably just this season. We have two from women's soccer and one from women's ice hockey, and we'll pick up another student. And we have one other player who joined us, I think it was 1 year ago, our spring season of 2020, before we got sent home. So it's looking good, but it's fun to see some new faces and play against new players. So yeah, it's looking good.
I can only imagine this. I mean, it's been such an unusual last calendar year, but certainly when everybody came back in the fall, we were hoping that the fall teams would be able to play and the winter teams would be able to play. You, your team is in sort of a unique situation in that the NCAA holds its championship for your sport in the spring. So we were able to move women's tennis and men's golf, as it turns out, to the spring this year. When I guess, did you have sort of a thought of, oh no, we're not going to play this year? When you found out though that you're moving to the spring, was there still a bit of excitement that, okay, there will be light at the end of the tunnel at the end of this school year, we will be able to play?
Yeah. When we found out in the fall that we weren't having a season, that was definitely like disappointing to hear. But we were still able to practice and see each other and hit against each other and get that hitting time in. So that was good. And then I think we weren't expecting to play in the spring, and then we found out we were able to. So with our team numbers being uncertain and our coach situation was uncertain as well. So once we finally got all those pieces to fit and we found out we could possibly have a season this spring, I think that was good news for us.
And I should also point out, I realize it's not as though Ellie said, we're going to be playing in the spring. I'm going to study abroad. I do believe that that was her intention back when she thought there would be a fall season.
Yes. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, you have the coaching situation was uncertain coming into the spring semester. Um, Coach Collins has taken over. She's in her first year. Can you talk a little bit about her style of practices and even maybe, her communication style and what she has entrusted you with as the captain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Coach Megan is great. She was our assistant coach starting last fall semester. So she started as our assistant, and when our assistant resigned, she moved up to our coach. And she recently graduated from, I forget the name.
Kenyon College.
Kenyon. I think it's
Yeah.
Kenyon College. So she played there. So I think she's using a lot of what she's picked up from there, in our practicing. Yeah, practice runs very smoothly, warm ups, drills, games. It's yeah, runs smoothly. Great coaching advice. She very works one on one with us, and she also tries to incorporate individual hitting time into practice and sometimes outside of practice. Yeah, so I was appointed captain by our coach who just resigned Tom Twitchell. I was appointed, so I started beginning of like our fall semester last year. And now that Megan's here, working with her has been nice as well, or continuing to work with her. Yeah, I guess I mostly am in charge of like leading the team, like leading warm-ups and getting things organized, doing some communication like between coach and the team. Yeah, just typical things like that, like and some like basic work like helping set up the nets and get the balls. And right now we're dealing with apparel, so things like that.
Apparel, that's fun. That's, you get to actually put on the uniform if you're like, this is happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have an idea of what you'll be like at matches? Are you going to be the one standing on the sideline when one of your teammates is, grinding through a match and just, yes, every point, or are you sort of more laid back, a little reserved?
I get excited at matches. Even during my match, I'm cheering for the match like 3 courts away. Like, yeah, I'll be cheering, and I hope to bring that energy into the season and get some of the other players excited as well.
I do want to ask you a little bit about yourself. The fact that your father also played tennis here, he was also a captain, class of 1987, Rick Edelman, and he's also the head coach at Bentley University, which is in your league, and you guys play. Um, I really do. You're from around Boston. You're from Boxford. I really do want to know, what the conversation was like when you told him, you know what? I know I live near Bentley. You coach at Bentley. I'm going to go to your alma mater though and play tennis there instead.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was considering going to Bentley, but they are primarily like a business school, and it just wasn't everything I was looking for. But St. Mike's was. Yeah, I was talking to Coach Mark Ellingston, was the coach who recruited me to come here. I remember when my dad and I came up and visited and looked at the school and walked around, and I was just like, I kind of had a feeling that this was where I was going to end up. I didn't really tell my dad until like it was kind of a last minute decision for me to come here. So like last minute I told him, but I think he was like excited for me. He definitely helped me a lot with the recruiting process and talking to coaches and how to find the right fit for college. I think it's funny how it worked out that I followed in his footsteps here. It's pretty cool, but like I don't know, I didn't really plan to do that. Like he didn't really hype up St. Mike's more than the other schools until I made my decision. Like he wanted me to make the decision on my own. Yeah, so he does coach Bentley in our league, which I kind of like thought of as a secondary thought after I chose to come here. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I guess we'll be playing him. Yeah, so my freshman year, I remember we drove down to Bentley, and that's pretty close to home. So my family came and watched, and it was a fun day. We ended up beating them that year, which was fun. And I think we're playing them this year on April 8th. I think they're coming up to us, so that'll be good to see him.
I think it's one of the last matches, hopefully outside, nice and sunny out there. I do wonder for him. I do wonder for him if he was almost relieved, like, okay, I didn't want to, some parents love coaching their kids. Some are like, okay, I don't have to make some of those tough decisions or anything like that. Is it interesting when you play do you even recognize that, oh, there he is over there sitting, watching other courts and, that's right. That's my dad. That's not the Bentley coach. That's my dad.
Yeah. I feel like he probably tries to stay away from me when we're playing each other, like until after the match is over, like, because he probably doesn't want to make me nervous, and like probably doesn't, I don't know, I feel bad for whoever I'm playing against. They might not get like much coaching from him, or from like their assistants would come over. Yeah. I do get nervous playing him, but like it is exciting. They're playing against his team. Um, yeah, because I'm always like thinking like in my head like, oh, he's definitely like analyzing my playing strategy right now. So yeah.
So we have you listed as, I'm hoping this is still right, neuroscience major and a chemistry and Spanish double minor.
Yes, that's correct.
That's impressive. I think it's maybe the at least to me the untrained scientific mind, but neuroscience and chem go together. Spanish. That's very interesting. Are you? Do you have ideas for what you're hoping to do after graduation?
um, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm still like thinking about it and possibly like grad school, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to say or make any decisions right now, but yeah, the Spanish is, I took Spanish in high school, so and like I think it's a useful tool. So I guess that's where that came from. And I traveled to Spain in high school on a like Spanish exchange trip. Um, yeah, so that was really fun.
I think that's where Ellie's studying abroad this semester, right? In Spain.
Yeah, yeah, she's in Sevilla.
Okay. Have you given her any tips on, hey, you need to, I've been to Spain, you need to travel here, you need to travel here?
No, we didn't have that conversation, but yeah, she seems like she's having a great time abroad. I'm seeing like her pictures. I've talked to her a couple times. Like I think she's loving her host family and getting to know some other exchange students. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that's pretty much what we have for you today. Thank you for taking the time to talk about the women's tennis season. We're looking forward to getting you guys back out and playing finally.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for the interview.